Hey, what's going on everybody? Gus here. So we have talked a bunch about audio gear on this channel over the years, and whilst working on several different reviews right now, like all those boxes up there, plus a headphone that I'm sure you guys already know which one it is, amidst all of that testing, I decided to try out something that was sent to me by Burson Audio. This thing is a power supply for audio gear. It costs 284 Australian dollars, which is about 120 US. And the bigger, this is the 3 amp version. There's a 5 amp variant that costs 380 something Australian dollars. Now it's discounted for 345, which is about 225 US. Now, it is supposed to, allegedly, deliver 50% less noise, which would increase the level of detail that you get on your audio experience, as well as twice the frequency, which again is supposed to increase the dynamics of your audio experience. Now, if you have never used a non-standard, or perhaps more accurately, non-included power supply with your audio stuff or with your gear in general, this might sound strange to talk about a power supply that's supposed to deliver better audio quality to your whole experience. But there are actually several options from pretty reputable brands out there, such as Burson Audio. At first I was skeptical because I have never personally tested something like this on my gear. I know about its existence, but I had never tested it before. But again, it's Burson. They do fantastic stuff. Their gear is phenomenal. So I figured, hey, they probably know what they're doing, right? They must. And to that, I have two things to say. One, it does work. I'm not even going to pretend to understand everything that's going on their website, all the information, the graphs, the technicality of it all, especially because it's in the box. It's a proprietary audio power supply technology. So the secret sauce, supposedly not available anywhere for you to just read and know exactly what they did. But, I mean, let's just say it works through the magic of science. And what it actually does is present you with, let's say, a sort of a darker backdrop for your instruments, which helps with separation, a slight different smoothness to the presentation of like really higher treble, not in lesser detail and not necessarily rolled off, but just smoother, like less sharp, less aggravating, let's say. It's in the very fine details. It's helping you get those extra, let's say 3-5 less % of your 100% audio experience that without it you basically don't have access to through your gear. But on the flip side of that coin, it's also highly situational and dependent on a bunch of stuff. Because, for example, let's say you have really crappy power being delivered to your stuff, like really noisy power. This is going to be affected. You're not going to get as much out of the supercharger as you could. That said, in a bit of a tangent here, for those of you who think you already have super clean power so you wouldn't benefit from the supercharger, not the case. I have an awesome UPS on my setup here that does a flipping fantastic job delivering ultra clean power to everything I plug into my main setup, and this thing still made a difference. So keep that in mind. But anyway, aside from all this power talk, it also depends on the rest of your chain, on the rest of your gear, on your headphones, on your IEMs, your speakers, your headphone amps, your speaker amps, your DACs. And because of all of that, and especially because of its price, for the majority of people, for most of you out there, for the average Joe, for me, for you guys, you're probably going to be like a lot better off putting those extra 120 to 150, maybe even like $300 towards upgrading your headphones, your IEMs, your DACs, your speakers, your speaker amps, before something like this turns out to be the logical or the only next step you could take to, get any sort of upgrade or uplift in your audio experience. But if you are someone who already has awesome gear, like you have stuff that's like $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 already, and your chain is all like everything is in place, then this can definitely help you get to that extra, like those last 3-5% of the experience that you should be getting, but for some reason was being kept from you due to noise or frequency or whatever magic this thing tackles. This is definitely worth looking into. And price-wise, yes, it can sound steep, but if you guys haven't checked the market for stuff like this as of late, do Google it a little bit, because the 225 to let's say $300 is actually pretty reasonable for what you get out of your experience through something as like inconspicuous as this thing. Anyway, thanks a bunch to Burson Audio for sending this stuff for me to review. Never actually tested something like this, and now I basically want several of them. It's pretty awesome. I'm very happily surprised with the results of my testing. And to you guys, I've never done a talking head video like this before, so let me know in the comments down below how you guys feel about it, because I'm not really sure how I do, but it just seemed fun, and I wanted to talk to you guys about this today. Anyway, that's been it. Thanks a bunch for watching. This is Gus, and I'll catch you guys later. I will slip a blade.